He said, I'm going to drug them out. I'm going to get them all on, and I'm going to put their ass out to my...
And there was no Me Too at that time. There was no protecting anyone at that time. You signed a million NDAs and a million contracts that took away all your rights. So you really were operating in an environment that you had no control in.
Former Danity Kane member Aubrey O'Day just confirmed the allegations about Diddy being a big-time trafficker in the industry. And child, what are these reports that Diddy tried to get the group hooked on drugs and put them out so people could have their way with them? And the crazy part about this is Aubrey has been on Diddy's neck for years now and steady exposing him every single chance she got. But it wasn't until Cassie filed her very explosive lawsuit against Diddy that people finally started to take her seriously. And get this, Diddy's former bodyguard, Gene Deal, actually confirmed everything that Aubrey said. And honey, the details are far worse than you could ever imagine. Okay, so for those of y'all who didn't know, Danity Kane was a girl group in the early 2000s made of 5 members: Andrea, D. Woods, Shannon, Dawn, and Aubrey. The group was formed during the 3rd season of MTV's Making the Band, a reality season shot in the early 2000s, and they later signed to Diddy's Bad Boy Records. However, not too long after the group was signed, very big tensions began to rise. Specifically between Diddy and Aubrey. Aubrey was not taking Diddy's BS, and whenever she would call him out on how unfairly he was treating them, he would go off on her and make her out to be a disrespectful person.
I'm done with all of that.
No. What do you want to look like though?
I'll tell you.
What do you want to look like though?
I'll tell you. I'm not focused on me. I'm focused on what this group should look like and how I should fit in this situation.
You like big hair though.
I don't like big hair.
You do like big hair. You like big hair. You like a lot of makeup and all that.
Actually, I don't. I don't like big hair. I don't like certain makeup. I'm very flexible with what you want to do, and I've worked with everything that you've thrown out. My hair is straight, curly, whatever. I'm not here in a group to have curly, straight, big makeup, whatever. I'm here in a group to sing with my group, and that is all I care about. For real, like, maybe you just don't get me.
Aubrey later revealed that Diddy would try to hook up with them behind the scenes, and he would verbally and psychologically mistreat them when they rejected his advances. Not only that, but it was also revealed that Diddy forced them to sign NDAs, so they wouldn't be able to say all of the things that he was doing to them. In fact, these rumors came up again a few months ago when Diddy decided to give back all the publishing rights that he stole from his artists, after keeping it to himself and cashing in on all their royalties for the last 30 years. But it was later revealed that he made all of them who wanted their publishing back to sign an NDA, promising to never speak about what happened during their days at Bad Boy. What's even shadier about this is that just a few weeks before Cassie slapped him with that lawsuit, he knew the lawsuit was coming, and he basically tried to do some damage control. But see, not all of them signed NDAs, and that included Aubrey. She said she knew something was about to go down simply because of how hard Diddy was pushing for his artists to sign that NDA. She warned the rest of the girls not to take that deal.
I have to release him for any claims or wrongdoings or actions prior to the date of the release. I have to sign an NDA that I will never disparage Puff, Bad Boy, Janice Combs, or Justin Combs' music, or EMI, or Sony ever in public.
So that you just got recently for this thing?
I got it a few months ago when he started doing this. In the news now? So what's happening is artists, some of them, not all of them, are being given streaming royalties and ownership back over our publishing on songs that we wrote at a time when you know that you have to stream a song 1 million times to make a cent.
Yeah.
Okay, it's hundreds of dollars. And me, as somebody that's a girl's girl, I hit everyone in my group and said, absolutely do not take this deal. I can get us a show on Hulu right now.
Baby, Aubrey was not playing at all. And this was later confirmed by Diddy's ex-bodyguard Gene Deal, who said Danity Kane were actually the only ones that didn't sign that NDA.
Did Diddy make his artists sign NDAs and people that work for him?
Well, a lot of these rappers, a lot of these industry people, anybody who does business nowadays with the internet, they have NDAs, non-disclosure. That means that if you work for them, you around them, you can't disclose any of the information about them. It's the same thing that he gave to all his artists when he gave them their publishing back. I'm gonna give y'all publishing, but y'all can't talk about Janice Combs, Justin Combs, Sony, Bad Boy, or anything that happened. Y'all can't talk about none of that. But there's some artists that didn't say anything, that didn't sign it, and they able to talk about anything they want to. And I think that's those girls that was, I think Danity Kane. I think a couple of them didn't sign it. And boy, oh boy, they probably gonna go after him too.
Aubrey also revealed that Diddy would intentionally put them against each other to cause divisiveness in the group so he could have better control over them.
The stories that we have to tell during a time in music where there were gatekeepers, there were people that owned labels like Puff running things, and the way that the divisions and the divisiveness occurred and the things that we experienced between each other and us against the system are insane.
And this isn't the first time that Aubrey has talked about how Diddy used to mistreat them. In fact, during her interview on the Call Her Daddy podcast, she talked about how Diddy used to body shame them and exposed him for kicking her out of the group after she refused to let him get with her.
Thing you could imagine why somebody would want to fire somebody.
Can you give us a little more?
I wasn't willing to do what was expected of me. Not talent-wise, but in other areas.
Mm-hmm. And were other girls doing?
I was the only one that was in those types of positions. Torture. And not the work part of it, but the other stuff. Mind games, like just... all the girls were so divided, and the men and the people running it had their hands in it. Moving everything. There was a lot of betrayal. There was a lot of lies. There was a lot of, and that was very traumatic. I don't think any of us have healed from that. Diddy would be like, you're not hot anymore. Like, what happened? You don't have anything, like, you don't have any curves. You're looking like you're not looking like, I can't get people to think that you're my good looking person.
He used to go in on them and say the nastiest things about their body every time they would gain a little weight or switch up their hairstyle a little bit. He treated them like they were his personal dolls or something, and he controlled every single aspect of their lives. But of course, the only one who had the guts to stand out was Aubrey, and he absolutely hated her for that.
Let's talk about the choice of it. Hair color change, and is this something you feel you want to stay with?
I really like it. I mean, I love being blonde too, but I like it.
I hate it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it makes you look hard. It puts age on you, unnecessary age. You're a very beautiful girl. And you, Andrea, you look pleasantly plump here. I mean, in person, you don't really look like this. I don't know if it's the way the picture was taken.
Because the trafficker.
But also your hair, some of the hairstyles that I've seen, you're a little overly glamorous, like where it's just a lot of hair. It's a lot of fake hair, a lot of fake eyelashes, a lot of makeup. And we'll get to you in a second with that, Aubrey. But I really want to try to go for more of a fashion-forward image for y'all.
What's even more sick about this is that at the time, a lot of people were living for the way that Diddy was dragging the girls and telling them what to do with their bodies because they thought he was prepping them up for the industry. However, all the pimping and trafficking allegations came out in Cassie's lawsuit, and people are finally starting to see him for who he really is. Well, according to reports, he wasn't telling them to dress up a certain way to appeal the fans. He was telling them to dress up to appeal the people he was about to them out to. This was also confirmed by Diddy's former bodyguard, Gene Deal, who said that he overheard Diddy talking about how he was going to the girls and pimp them out to his guys to have their way with them.
They probably gonna go after him too. Cause I heard him, and I'm giving you this, Aubrey. He stood up there and he said in front of a lot of people We were in the studio. And I said something to him and walked out the studio. He said, yo, I'm going to drag their ass off and pick them up and them out to my nigga. He said, I'm going to drug them out. I'm going to get them all on drugs. And I'm going to pimp their ass out to my nigga. And I was like, there's somebody kids. And walked out. And it's somebody that heard me. It's somebody that heard me. I mean, well, it's not only somebody that heard me, it's somebody that I know who was in the studio at the time that happened, and I still talk to him today. And we were just talking about that the other day. He done moved back to Indiana. I don't know why. I'm going to give you that one. He said he was going to them all out, them out.
And this explains why Aubrey said that Diddy was asking them to do things outside of what they were supposed to be doing. So not only did he want to get with them, but he also wanted them to make themselves available to other men. Child, this is too crazy. And Cassie also accused him of this exact same thing in her lawsuit. She detailed how Diddy would make her take very large doses of substances and force her into having unwanted encounters with multiple men, which he called freak-offs. It quickly went from a one-time thing to making her indulge in these little freak-offs every other week in different hotels. She would always delete the footage, but he always had his own copy and would use them to blackmail her into submission. And he really wasn't just bluffing when he threatened to leak these videos, because in a resurfaced radio interview, 50 Cent talked about the time he reached out to Diddy to talk about an explicit video he saw of Cassie, but Diddy didn't really care, and he sounded like he already knew it was out there.
See the girl pictures, like pictures of this girl, like not the y'all saw. Worse, way worse.
Wow, you kidding me up?
Like penetration pictures and
Nah, come on, man. Come on, Phil.
I really kind of felt like those photographs were not happening because of Cassie. I felt like they was happening because of Puffy.
Right. Oh, wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Now, after this, people started speculating that maybe Diddy is a part of some bigger organization that Hollywood uses to exploit young girls and boys, and that he was probably trying to get Danity Kane into it, but it didn't really succeed because of how spoken Audrey was. As expected, people were very disgusted by this, and some people even said that Diddy needs to be thrown in jail. One person said, he really is a sick person. Honestly, why is these evil monsters still not in jail? It's gross. He needs to be held accountable like today. So happy and proud she has spoken out, and his ex-bodyguard. Another person said, they tried to paint Aubrey as the uppity and ungrateful brat throughout the entire show, when she was really being courageous and true to herself. I hope she discloses more info and sues Diddy. But now I want to know your thoughts. What do y'all think about Aubrey exposing Diddy for being a trafficker and exploiting young women? And do y'all think that other Danity Kane girls gonna finally come out and also sue Diddy for what he put them through while they were working with him? As always, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, and don't forget to click here to watch this other very messy video.